Hello everyone, Jake Fox84 here, and welcome back to another Devlog Dissect. Today we'll be dissecting Devlog 25. Compared to Devlog 24, this is way shorter. As you can see, it's way shorter. Just kind of going through here real quick. There we go. So without kind of further ado, we'll just get into it. So basically, at the start here, they're just kind of going over how the campaign's working. Now, for those of you who do not know what the campaign is, that is basically the pseudo version of the World Conquest. The whole goal of this was basically to give basically non-weekly war or community events more of a meaning to the player. And they think it's working out. So that there's, that's that. So they think it's working. Also kind of important to note, now they don't directly say this, but they're basically, it's already been kind of decided they will be removing weekly wars from the game or community events, whatever you would so choose. And they're kind of going to get those under the table here. So there's kind of that. I mean, it's just taking its step in evolution. We're not going to see community events be, removed, but they're just taking the next step in evolution. So, that voice crack, just ignore that. Excuse me. Biggest news is the Warden Light Tank, which was announced last week at the devlog. It's basically, is the Divot, I'm going to say this wrong, the Divot Mark III. And it was originally designed alongside the Colonial H5 hatchet. If you guys don't remember, there was a contest, not really contest, but whoever won the weekly war, honestly it was almost 10 weeks ago, got their tank done first, so obviously they had to have both designs done, so this design's been done for a while here. Personally, I think it looks really ugly. That's just me. It has no sloped armor, really, and then this, it's just, it seems almost more like it'd be more of almost a medium tank than a light tank. But kind of looking into the specifications here, it's going to have a weight of 6,214 kilograms. So using my totally great conversion skills, that's what, 6 tons, roughly, if you put that in pounds. A length of 5.56 meters, so that's going to be about almost, 15 feet? About 16 feet. Height of 2.96 meters, so that's going to be about 9 feet. And a width of 2.8 meters, which is going to be about 6 feet. Leaning closer to 9. It's 8, 9, somewhere around there. It's going to have a crew of 3, so you're going to have your commander, your gunner, and your driver. The armor at its thickest is going to be 32 millimeters. The main armament, which is this lovely thing right here, is a 37 millimeter Decker 21C. Secondary armament is not available, so it will not have a like an MG42, what you would see on a Panzer III or something like that. Turret rotation 360 degrees, so it can shoot all around it, and it has a top speed of 40 kilometers an hour, which is what, almost 60 miles an hour, roughly. Something like that. I can, go back and do all the conversions. So, kind of going over the concept art, you kind of see compared to a player. So, the main body itself, the chassis itself is about the size of a player. Then the turret adds probably an extra 3 feet, saying this guy's 6, something like that. At first, when we were looking at this within the clan last night, I was looking at this last night, the concept art, and if you kind of look here on the carbine, it looks like there's a rifle. Well, we had a 30-minute debate over if we're going to get scope on the. It doesn't look like a rifle; it looks like a scope on the carbine, and we got in a 30-minute debate if there was going to be a scope or not. No, if you look on the 3D model of a carbine, it has a really thick rear end sight. Looking at some concept designs for it. Now, I'm no expert in World War II tanks. I have a huge World War II tank encyclopedia that I've looked at I haven't looked at it in like 10 years. But, so I'm no expert in it, but I do know a little bit of what I'm talking about. Not really. But, yeah, they just, we've been seeing that there's a lot of French influence in these tanks, and, I think that turret might be very Frenchish design. Personally, I don't like any of these. I would have preferred to see. I mean, I really like the turn on the D model, but that's just kind of me. Moving on from the whole new tank is the new map, Fisherman's Row. So basically, what the I hope for Fisherman's Row is going to be a skirmish map. Okay, so it's still going to function like any ordinary map, like Weathered Expanse or Endless Shore, or Callahan. It's going to work like that, but it's going to have only 60 players. So it's going to be a 60-player map in total. So that's 30 players on each side, and it's designed to help a new player. So new player experience and smaller scale skirmishes. So basically, what the map's going to allow is for new players who are just hopping in the game to have to have a very nice small map, but basically stepping stones. Okay, you can train them on Fisherman's Row. They can move on like in a map like Endless Shore, and then hopefully eventually they get ready for campaign instead of just throwing them straight into campaign. So this is just to ease the baby steps and make that learning curve less steep. So it's has really, I don't have the concept up on me, but when I was watching the dev stream, there's basically two main choke points. This bridge being one of them, and then a land bridge almost. So it actually looks like to be a really cool map. Like they said, the bridge is going to be one of two major crossing points on the map, and you can see some sulfur. Looks like some scrap and components. I can already see this bridge. Obviously, this bridge is going to be a huge battleground. But looking at this, it almost looks like you actually might be able to get rifle fire from opposite sides of the bank fairly accurately, maybe. Like especially like in this area. So it's probably going to make these components and stuff a little bit more dangerous to manage, and definitely probably be well within artillery fire and mortar fire. Two kind of things we don't see really much in the game in any of the other maps is farmland. So I think that would kind of be a little neat addition to it. It's on the west coast of the old Warden Empire. So it's kind of, if you kind of look at them, somebody made a map a while back, but if you look on it, it's going to be that huge ocean where Endless Shore is. Next kind of big, huge announcement is the rifle grenade launcher. So basically, think a really, really, really version of an M203, which we have, I think we equip it on the M4A1 carbine, something like that. But instead of going under the barrel of the rifle, it plugs it kind of how an early bayonet would have worked. I think they call them barrel plug bayonets, where they plug it into the barrel, and that's how they had their bayonets early. So same idea here. So basically, since they kind of made mortars way more harder, it had an anti-infantry ability, but because they made mortars more of a late game tool, actually they made it basically almost you never see it game tool. They're using this to help kind of replace its anti-infantry abilities, which I think will be nice. Now, the grenade launcher will not work on every type of grenade. So far, they're saying only frag grenades, smoke grenades, and green ash may be on the last two. But for sure, frag grenades are going to work. Now, it does use a little tool, as you can kind of see. It uses an extension. So this will obviously probably have to be built, by Logi, but it's probably going to be built in the workshop. And I'm saying maybe for 100 B mats, you should get like 25, 30 of these at most, This would be something that would probably be very cheap and easy to refine, to build. So we shouldn't be having 250 B mats and you get 5. This would be a tool that would be fairly easy to manufacture. Kind of going in, once equipped, the rifle can be switched to fire grenades by toggling its fire mode via a key press. So obviously we're going to get a new keybind. The feature will open the door to other possible weapon accessories and fire modes in the future, so we could potentially see the SMG going from full auto to semi-auto. And then grenade stone with this accessory will obviously be able to reach further distances. And then there, like I said earlier, it will be initially compatible with frag grenades, but they're also exploring the idea of other type of grenades like smoke and green ash. I do not think it's realistic to expect HE to be used, but that is for the devs. And then kind of the last thing here, the musical instruments, which is kind of conceptual. That's more for RP. But basically, it's just kind of a way for people to role play and get, as they say, at the very least, have some extra props to dress up future environments. Smiley emoticon. I think actually be really cool, especially like within the 82 DK when we occasionally have our Russian charges, which almost never happen anymore. You kind of, you get a commissar on that bugle, what's that, probably bugle or a trumpet, and just go, and that was horrible, but you guys get the idea. I think that'd be really cool. And oh gosh, well, do I really want to read these comments? What everybody's saying? All right, love it. I wanted to use the guitar. Oh gosh, I can already see that now. Whoa. Hold on. All right. Squad chat. Okay, this guy just has some suggestions. I'll let you know here. I'll freeze so you can read it. All right, cool. Here, you can read it too. I'll freeze like on everything else too, so you guys can probably read it if you didn't get the chance to like properly look at it and whatnot. Although too, I think this farmland looks really cool. So who's ever on map design, I definitely loving that, the look of that. Although too, while we're on kind of the subject of map and skirmishes, let's come back up here. Private servers is something I like to see. Maybe once the game is either fully released or in early access, maybe a private server to allow clans to do training operations and stuff. Because I always hate like when we have a training operation and we kind of just roll up on this one server and there's like 5 colonials online, and all of a sudden like 20, 25 wardens just show up, but just a steamroll. So, I'm thinking, private server would be nice to see. Or, if the devs want to, maybe let us spin up a server for us, password it so we can, fight amongst ourselves. That'd be kind of nice, but, that's just be, something down the line. And then the Warden Tanks designs here. I like D the most. I mean, I hate them all. That's just personal opinion. I mean, I'm glad we're getting tanks. It's just, it looks very ugly to me. It looks very bulky. But hey, I'll make it work. We're getting a tank, so I can't complain here. And then that is that. So thank you guys for watching. I hope I might have cleared up some confusion and whatnot on this devlog, though there shouldn't have been much to be too confused on. No major game changes or anything. Except, tanks, a grenade launcher, musical instruments, and a new map. But other than that, this is Jake Fox 84 signing off. Later, guys.